Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. This is episode 203 of the Music Mondays podcast. I hope you're well. Hope you're chilling. What's cracking? How we feeling? How we doing? It's a new week, man. It's a new week. Solid week for Music Mondays, to be honest with you. I'm good. Hope you're all swell. Hope everybody had a good weekend and all that good jazz. But it's that time. It is that time, my friends. So, um, man, December is kind of whipping by. Not really. December is kind of normal, actually. It definitely does feel like the 9th for sure. But November definitely whipped by. But regardless, we are well into December and we're chilling. So, like I said, this is episode 203 of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays, and welcome on in, my friends. What's cracking? So, quite the lineup for you guys tonight, actually. So, we have the weekly recap. We're going to go over some weekly recap jazz. We're going to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Our discussion segment will be the end of the year prep. So last year we did a segment on end of the year stuff and how to prepare for the end of the year. So I think we'll do that this week as well. So that'll be cool. And then we'll roll into some reactions and reviews. Quite the amount of submissions tonight as well. Some familiar faces, some returning faces. You guys know the drill. So this will be very, very interesting. So I'm down. I'm definitely down. All right. Let's see here. So let's start off with some weekly recap jazz first. Let's talk about what happened at Music Mondays over the course of the last week or so. So let's get into it. Per usual, Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are available right now and in stock. We have smalls, mediums, and larges still left. Those are going to be promoted at least one more time on our socials before the end of the year. But those are still in stock as well. We have a few pieces left. So make sure you contact us if you're interested in ordering one of those. $20 including shipping. So, per usual, that's pretty much a weekly occurrence. And then as well, every single Tuesday following the live show, early access Music Mondays Patreon content goes live. So again, every Tuesday, we upload the Music Mondays podcast early on the Music Mondays Patreon for you guys to download, clip, record, do whatever you want with. So you can find that every Tuesday on our Patreon. So make sure you go check that out and go show that some love. That happens every Tuesday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We rolled into Tuesday with that, and then of course on Tuesday submissions open for the Music Mondays podcast per usual. So again, if you miss submissions for this week's show, you can always submit the following day for the following episode. So again, for example, if you want to submit for episode 204, submissions will be live tomorrow on December 10th. So that was Tuesday. We rolled into Wednesday with Spotify Wrapped, actually, which was actually kind of caught us off guard because Spotify was like Spotify was kind of edging us, and they were like, "Yo, Wrapped is coming, and it's coming, and it's coming," and it just kind of randomly dropped on a Wednesday. So the Music Mondays podcast Spotify Wrapped is available on all socials. That's out right now, so definitely go check that out if you want to see some cool stats from the year from the show. And huge shout out to everybody that streams the Music Mondays podcast on audio platforms, man. We like to upload the show pretty much everywhere. So wherever you listen to the show is always appreciated. Doesn't really matter where. But for anybody who listens on Spotify, you guys are awesome. Thank you. I know they're adding a lot of cool features now. Because when we started uploading the show on Spotify, it definitely wasn't as what's the word? It definitely wasn't as advanced as it is now for podcasts, right? So they have a lot of cool features over there. So it's a very enjoyable experience to watch the show. If you're a Spotify user. So definitely pretty cool. But Spotify Wrapped is out right now. Definitely go check that out. Go shout out some love, and huge shout out to everybody that streams the Music Mondays podcast anywhere you listen to the show. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Definitely had a really cool Wrapped, to be honest with you, now that I'm thinking about it. Compared to 2023, we definitely made some major upgrades as far as listeners go and stats go and things like that. But again, that's not really a reflection on us, just because we do upload the podcast pretty much everywhere, right? So you can go stream it on YouTube, or you can go stream it on Apple Music, or wherever you want to listen to the show. So again, Spotify Wrapped dropped on Wednesday, and then of course SoundCloud Sunday submissions open every single Wednesday per usual. Make sure you follow us on socials and keep your eyes peeled for when SoundCloud Sunday submissions open. So that was Wednesday. Following Wednesday, we headed into Thursday. with episode 202 of the Music Mondays podcast dropping on all audio platforms. So that's available and drops every single Thursday if you missed the live show. So again, if you missed today's live show, that'll be live on Thursday, per usual, every single Thursday. So make sure you go check your favorite audio platform for a new episode of the Music Mondays podcast, man. We upload every single Thursday, and of course, pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts, right? Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon, pretty much everywhere. So make sure you go check that out and go show it some love. And then following the Music Mondays podcast, we always upload a brand new YouTube upload. So on Thursday, we dropped community feedback number 17. So last week during episode 202 of the Music Mondays podcast, we recorded community feedback number 17, where we kind of give the community a little bit of space to really showcase and tell us what they'd like to see on the Music Mondays podcast and on the Music Mondays platform in general, right? Because we do have a pretty good roadmap for Music Mondays, but we always want to consider the community and let you guys kind of share your thoughts and let us know what you'd like to see on Music Mondays. So community feedback number 17 is available right now on YouTube. So definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. And make sure you sub to the channel, man. We are literally 5 subs away from 300. We upload twice a week, every Thursday and every Saturday. Make sure you go check out the channel. Go show those videos and these artists some love. So following that, let's see here. So that's Thursday. Heading into Friday, we dropped a brand new article by the homie Conbini 2004. Conbini actually attended a music industry insider conference with a platform outside of the United States based in the UK. So that was actually a really cool article. Conbini kind of broke down a lot of the basic tips and tricks that I would say almost any artist should look into and kind of start paying attention to. You know what I mean? So that's a really, really good written piece there. So Conbini wrote that up, and they did an excellent job. So make sure you go show Conbini some love and go show that piece some love, because that's a fucking banger. So, all right. That was Friday. We headed into Saturday with episode 202 of the Music Mondays podcast dropping on YouTube. So again, that drops every single Saturday on YouTube, per usual. For anybody that actually misses the live show or you prefer to kind of watch the show on YouTube, that drops every single Saturday. So, per usual, definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted to episode 202. Huge shout out to everybody that showed love to episode 202. And we're definitely going to keep the ball rolling. I mean, the show always drops like, you know, on a pretty consistent basis, and we always have. So we're going to continue to do so. Nothing new there. You know, the schedule pretty much always stays the same. So, heading into, let's see here, Sunday, we dropped SoundCloud Sunday volume 164. That is available right now on our SoundCloud. That was curated by me this week, actually. So definitely go check that out. Go show that some love. A definite W. I've been curating those for the last couple weeks, and those have been like really insane. So huge shout out to everybody that has been submitting and showing love to SoundCloud Sunday. So volume 164 is available right now. So definitely go check that out. And submissions open every single Wednesday. So make sure you keep that in mind. Make sure you follow us on socials if you'd like to stay up to date with SoundCloud Sunday and when to submit to the playlist. So that's pretty much your weekly recap and everything that happened at Music Mondays over the last week or so. And again, make sure you follow Music Mondays on all socials: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, Threads, the whole 9 on socials, like I said, to stay up to date with everything that we're doing, man. You guys know the drill. Let's get it. All right, so let's see here. All right. So we did the weekly recap. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. So we do have a busy couple weeks ahead of us. So looking at the calendar, actually, the next 2 weeks are going to be insanely busy. So the Music Mondays Awards is pretty much our main focus. But outside of that, our Patreon update will be dropping this week. So over the last couple weeks, you've heard me talk about the Music Mondays Patreon update. We're going to add some more goodies and perks over there for all of our patrons at all the tiers. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. That'll be launching this week. That'll be a cool addition to start the year, and something that I've been wanting to get out of the way as well. I've definitely been wanting to update the Music Mondays Patreon for quite some time. we really just updated it in like I think like the summer, so not too long. But when it comes to like tiers and things like that, and the rewards that we want to give everybody, and all the content that we put over there is definitely going to be doubled. We really just want to hook everybody up over there on Patreon and make it really worth their support. So the Music Mondays Patreon update will be coming this week, and then we'll be focusing heavily on the Music Mondays Awards. So again, Music Mondays Patreon update this week, Music Mondays Awards stuff next week, and then following that, we're going to squeeze in some Music Mondays merch promo one last time before the end of the year. So those three things are a pretty big deal when it comes down to everything that we're doing here. So pretty much in that order, Music Mondays Patreon update, that'll be coming this week, and the Music Mondays Awards. We're going to be starting some promo for that next week, because we're going to pretty much go with the same format that we went with last year. So for those of you that did attend the Music Mondays Awards in 2023, we pretty much had a staff nominated group for every category. So we picked like 4 or 5 creators for each category. And we have 10 categories. So things like best artist, best music video, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Things like that. Designer of the year, all sorts of categories like that. But the staff pretty much kind of picks X amount of nominations. I think like 4 or 5 each, and then we kind of narrow it down, and then we let the community kind of vote on it. So that'll be something that we pretty much repeat this year. I don't think we're gonna change anything when it comes down to the format. That'll be something to keep your eyes peeled for next week. So the Music Mondays Awards is definitely going to be steamrolling in here very, very soon. That'll be awesome. And like I said, the third thing that's pretty major is the Music Mondays merch promo. We put together something pretty cool to kind of send off the end of the year and make sure that everybody knows that we have a few pieces left. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So those 3 things, the Patreon update this week, Music Mondays Award stuff next week, and Music Mondays merch stuff. That'll pretty much sum up the next like 3 weeks or so as far as like bigger content pieces. But per usual, a lot of your monthly and weekly content will stay the same. So a lot of the playlists will still be getting updated, right? Underground Classics, the monthly, the breakdown, SoundCloud Sunday, things like that. Those will all stay the same. And of course, your weekly pieces will stay the same. Things like the podcast, again, SoundCloud Sunday, weekly articles, things like that. So that's pretty much the major things that we wanted to talk about when it came to the Music Mondays podcast, and the Music Mondays platform in general. Those 3 things are going to be kind of how we wrap up the year, but we're going to sprinkle in some more surprises. And like I said, I really wanted to make sure that we tied up some loose ends and make sure that we lock it down for 2025 and make sure we go into the new year strong. So just want to make sure we crank all that out properly. But yeah, outside of that, that's pretty much what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of next week. And of course, make sure you follow us on socials to stay up to date. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, Twitter. You guys know the drill. So, all right, so we did weekly recap. We spoke about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk recruiting and exclusive really quick. So, when it comes to recruiting, Music Mondays is recruiting. We usually recruit year-round up until we kind of have a full roster or a roster that we're comfortable with. But again, we are looking for writers, journalists, designers, curators, media enthusiasts, anybody who wants to do long-form media, short-form media, things like that. We're looking to fill at least 3 or 4 more spots before the end of the year. So again, make sure you contact us. Let us know if that interests you. Send me a message, send us an email. Resume definitely preferred, but not required at all. We're definitely willing to teach new creators about the Music Mondays platform in general. So again, feel free to send us a message, send us an email if you're interested in joining the Music Mondays staff team. And of course, we have a detailed role guide on our YouTube channel where I kind of break down all the Music Mondays staff roles, and we speak about what each role entails, what your content's like, what you're expected, and things like that. So definitely go check out the role guide on the YouTube channel if you want more of a detailed breakdown on all the Music Mondays roles. So, recruiting. Let's talk exclusives. So, Music Mondays is on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. If you have an unreleased SoundCloud track that you'd like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays SoundCloud and across all of our socials for free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM. We'd be happy to coordinate that with you and make sure we get a nice release out. So again, we are only interested in unreleased tracks. So So feel free to do whatever you want with a track afterwards. You want to go throw it on all platforms, that's fine. You want to film a music video, that's fine. But again, we're only interested in hosting the SoundCloud version of the track. Again, not only to kind of show some love to everybody over there on SoundCloud, but kind of promote artists in a different way, right? And make sure that everybody kind of, really sees your true talent on like a different scale, right? Because the podcast is one great promotion tool, but an exclusive is kind of like a way to showcase an artist on more of, I'd say, like a deeper level. So we are on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. Same thing for YouTube. So again, if you have an unreleased track, if you have a music video, AMV, YouTube edit, anything you'd like to have hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel and promoted across all of our socials for free, definitely let us know. We are interested in unreleased YouTube content as well. We've hosted a couple visuals on YouTube. We've had a couple audio uploads, but we're definitely looking to expand on that when it comes to our YouTube channel. So again, if you're interested in getting a unreleased music video, visual, AMV, anything like that hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM. We'd be happy to break that down with you as well. So again, SoundCloud and YouTube exclusives are open. Definitely let us know if that's something that interests you. So, all right. That's good. Let's see here. All right. So, we spoke about pretty much everything major. So we did weekly recap. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We spoke recruiting. We spoke SoundCloud exclusives. All right. So let's hop into our discussion segment for this week. And I think this one is going to be a pretty good one. So last year, I kind of did one on how to prep for the end of the year. I think we're going to run that back this year and kind of talk about that again. I think that's a really good topic to kind of dive into and something that is always worth talking about, right? So let's get into it. All right. Let's sip some water. Let's talk about the end of the year. All right. So, what do I mean by the end of the year? Every artist kind of looks at the end of the year like finishing a mini race, right? Because I think creating music and creating content and just being a musician in general is a marathon, but the years and the months and the weeks are kind of like mini marathons, if you will, right? Mini races. And once you complete the end of a year, you completed another year, man, and you get to look back on what you did, and you get to look back on everything you accomplished and see how many goals you hit and things like that, right? So that's what we're going to talk about here today, is how to kind of prep for the end of the year. And there's really two ways that you could really go about this, right? So when it comes to end of the year prep, creators and artists and musicians kind of look at it in two ways, and there's really two ways you should be looking at it. One way is the kind of go all out way, right? A lot of people like to dump a lot of their B-sides. A lot of people like to finish off with an album. A lot of people like to finish off with a couple shows. A lot of people like to really up the gas when it comes to the end of the year, and that's a really great way to kind of, again, get a lot of the backlog out, kind of do a lot of things that you didn't get a chance to do towards the middle of the year, the start of the year, and kind of do them at the end of the year. So I think ramping up the content and ramping up the drops and ramping up the tracks and collabs and kind of getting everything else out is always a good way to do it. You know what I mean? I think spilling your guts at the end of the year is always going to be a good play. So that way, not only can you prep for the new year, but you know that you're not going into the new year with anything that's left over. And I don't think anything that's left over is like a bad thing, right? I totally think that's a good thing to have like a vault stored up, right? But if you have stuff that you know that like you're going to sit on forever, or you have a collab that you've been sitting on forever, or things like that, this is definitely the time to fire it off. These last November, December, last 2 months, I think that's a really good time to just fire that off and go crazy, for sure. So that's one method, right? The other thing that you could do is kind of slow down a bit, and not really slow down with drops or anything like that. I would still continue on your regular release schedule. But what I mean by slow down is kind of take a step back and prep, right? Check all your links in your link tree. Kind of make sure that your New Year's ready to go. Make sure that you updated your bios everywhere. Make sure that all your descriptions are good. Make sure that all your YouTube's uploaded. Make sure that your Bandcamp is updated. You know what I mean? Kind of like take a step back and look at everything and check what you might have missed throughout the year, what you need to update. You know, if you don't have a Spotify bio, do that. You know, you could really take the end of the year to kind of go back to the lab and really reassess everything that you have going on, right? I mean, shit, maybe get a new logo ready for the new year. Maybe get, you know, X, Y, or Z done for the new year. I think there's a lot of room for prep there as well. So that's the route that I find is the most beneficial. Just because throughout the year, it can get really busy, right? I think drops and shows and, you know, trying to deal with being an artist is definitely a very busy thing. So the end of the year is really one of the only times where you can sit back and kind of like, you know, take your extra time to do some other shit. Stuff like putting lyrics in descriptions or, you know, just small stuff that I think you wouldn't normally have time to do throughout the whole year, right? Especially if like you're by yourself and you're doing everything solo. There's definitely no time to kind of like worry about a lot of the smaller stuff. So I think the end of the year is a really good time to fill in those gaps and make sure that you can kind of go into the new year with your head straight. I think that's the biggest benefit to doing all that, though, is not only like do you have the time to do it, but I think going into the new year with your head straight is also a good thing, right? Like you don't want to go into the new year kind of worried about last year's bullshit. You know what I mean? I definitely think that would suck. That would definitely suck. So that's the other benefit of kind of taking a step back and making sure that your content and, you know, your music and what you want to do for the new year is ready to go. So I think either way, it'd be really beneficial. But those are the two main ways that I would say you can kind of tackle the new year and really get yourself ready for a whole new spin. To be honest with you, I mean, the new year is great, but the end of the year is like again full of a lot of prep. So I think I think it's a very good time of the year, but it's also a very busy time of the year. You know, very very busy. So that's that, my friends. That's kind of an interesting topic that I wanted to break down. That's one we did last year, but I think, you know, both ways are beneficial depending on what kind of an artist you are. So definitely let us know in the comments. Send us a tweet. Let us know what kind of route you're taking this year. And of course, this will be uploaded on the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We are approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. Get it, baby. Alrighty, my friends, let's do it. It's that time of the night. So we did pretty much everything. We had our discussion segments. We spoke about recruiting. We did exclusives, weekly recap, stuff that's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's get into some reactions and reviews. All right. You guys know the drill, but if you don't and you're new here, tweets are always in the same format every single week, and they'll always read. Artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on December 9th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/SonPlays, which is here and now. Right now. Right now, live. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creation, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've pretty much reacted to everything here on the show. Everything from music, vocals, instrumentals, remixes, music videos, YouTube edits, photography, videography, you name it, we've reacted to it here on the show. So feel free to drop whatever you think deserves some spotlight on the Music Mondays podcast. And of course, the basis being behind that is a lot of creators are multi-talented, right? A lot of artists are also producers. A lot of producers are also designers. A lot of designers are also artists. So it goes back and forth, you know what I mean? So we wanted to make sure that we hit all corners here on the Music Mondays podcast. And per usual, a 4-hour show limit is implemented just to make sure that we have a little bit of more of a palatable show to watch back. Because again, sometimes one could argue even a 4-hour show is a little bit long to watch back, but that's opposed to our, you know, former 5, 6, 7-hour shows that used to run pretty late. So again, that's just to make the show a little bit more palatable to watch back. But per usual, just keep that in mind because we are one of the only weekly live shows here on Twitch on Mondays. So, 4-hour show limit, and of course, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. So again, not only are submissions free, but the only thing that we do ask is that you're following us on Twitter before you do submit. It not only helps spread our message and show Music Monday's support, but that does pay respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. So just keep that in mind. And of course, Patreon subscriber submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, you gain access to a whole bunch of goodies, including the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which allows you to guarantee your submissions get played here on the show, but they'll always be played first before the rest of the communities. So again, for example, if you subscribe to the Music Mondays Patreon tonight for the next 4 Mondays in a row, or for the duration that you're pledged to the Patreon, you'll have your submissions played first here on the show. Great perk. So again, just keep that in mind, and a huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons. You guys are fucking wonderful human beings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Let's see here, chat. All right. So let's see. One more thing that we do got to talk about is that submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. So just keep that in mind. You have about roughly 6 or so days to get your submissions in. So for example, if you want to submit for next week's episode of the Music Mondays podcast, submissions open tomorrow, December 10th. If you're watching this anywhere else on YouTube or Spotify, submissions are already open, so make sure you check the date and drop your links below. And of course, we are a live show, so we like to keep things free flow. We don't want anybody kind of cutting through and messing up the order that we kind of get set with when it comes to Monday. So again, a good rule of thumb to keep in mind is that if the show is live, submissions are closed. So per usual, you got like 6 or so days, so you can pretty much like cook up a song in that whole time, mix it, and then still have time to submit it. So just keep that in mind. But outside of that, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Music Mondays podcast. If you'd like any more information, we do have a how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide on our YouTube channel, which we'll be redoing in 2025 actually. But we have this year's guide available right now, where I kind of break down everything that has to do with the Music Mondays podcast, how we ended up on Twitter, how the Music Mondays podcast came to be, a lot of the lore when it comes to that. So definitely go check that out if that's something that interests you. So outside of that, my friends, I think we are good to go. So let's see how many Patrons we do have here tonight, and then we're going to hop into the community submission. So first Patron of the night is the homie Laveries. I'm definitely down. And then we have TDG. That's 2 Patrons tonight. All right, so we got 2 Patrons for tonight, and then we're going to hop into the community submission. So I just had to double check there. We're going to kick off with Laveries, and then we're going to do TDG, and then we'll head into community submissions. So, Laveries, let's get it. All right, Laveries is hot off Recession Rap, which is their recent project that they just dropped this year. And we've pretty much reacted to every single track here on the show. Over the last, I'd say like 7 or so weeks, we've reacted to all of Recession Rap, and it's definitely one of Laveries' more unique bodies of work that I think was very beneficial for them. But Laveries, a very talented hip-hop artist, submitted Walt White Remix, and it looks like to be a vertical lyric video, so we're starting to remix tracks on the project now, which could be pretty fucking crazy. That's actually sick. All right. And Laveries in the caption just posted this, hashtag Recession Rap. Okay. Get a little pause here. Hold on. Let's see what we got. All right, full volume. Go 720. Check here. 4 hours ago. No description. All right. Just posted this Walt White Remix featuring You Know My Name, a vertical lyric video solo version. Shit. Okay, so we're getting to the nitty gritty now. We're definitely getting to the nitty gritty. All right. I'm down. Let's get into it. Laveries and Ghost, Walt White Remix. Let's get it.
Damn, Shazy, this shit fire.
Is that a buzzball?
Ghost.
Recession Rap.
I knew it.
Their art is just not reflective of the times that we're living in.
Be so fucking crazy that it must be ghost produced. So I gotta hop up in that stew to see what I can do to it. Already killed a few, these beats no mercy on them, send me more. Yeah, you know they head drop soon, they come through that door. I don't even need no promo, this shit gon' sell itself. Taylor Swift numbers, yeah, I'm flying off the show. Where the competition, I don't see nobody else. It's just me and my bitch, and she taking off my belt, ooh.
Oh, is
Just taking off my belt, tips be dark as fuck. I don't
Oh,
even
shit.
see nobody else. What you smoking on, little buddy? This shit ain't even got a smell. And I'm outside with this 93, done so more gas than Shell. Boy, I'm out of here.
What the fuck?
Wanna go gram for gram? How about band to band? Take your bitch from land to sand. Then I fuck her friend, then her friend, then her friend and friend. Fell in love with rubber band. Don't fall in love with no hoe, that what my mother said. Don't trust nobody, that what my daddy told me. And my daddy ain't here no more, so you know I gotta keep it on me. Don't cut the camera, keep it rolling. I can never be a custodian. My ex salty is sodium. I'm on opiates, not opium. I've got a pot to Glock if you showing them.
On opiates, not opium. That's fire.
Don't speak on my name if you never had to get a bird off. Kelly hit him with the bird call. Pop a pill, then swerve off. Real hit and no curveball. She said your music is a turn off.
Damn.
Little buddy, crib soda be full of muddy. I been a kid, don't fuck with Cuddy. Track starter, gun have him running. Forrest Gump, he a chump. Don't jump in that water, boy, you know you chump.
Be so fucking crazy that
Wow.
it must be ghost produced. So I gotta hop up in that stew to see what I can
What a
do to
remix,
it.
bro.
Already killed a few, these beats, no mercy on them, send me more. Yeah, you know they head drop, soon they come through that door. I don't even need no promo, this shit gon' sell itself. Taylor Swift numbers, yeah, I'm flying off the shelf. Where the competition, I don't see nobody else. It's just me and my bitch, and she taking off my belt. Ooh.
Give me that dick, Loverius.
Hold on, let me record this verse real quick.
But I want it now.
Give me like 5 minutes, I got you.
Give me like 5.
I done smoked up on my weed, I'm chiefing on this pen, yeah. Let me finish this album up and I'm back on it again, yeah. I don't even call the plug no more, they send packs to me through the mail. Ain't no, I pay the police, they ain't taking me to jail, nah. Plug sent that good side, bitch, I'm on the moon. I ain't even really done too many drugs, but I'm thinking about taking shrooms. I just caught a one girl, and she told me she bringing 2. I just did that shit yesterday and for them till they loose, yeah. Huh. I do this shit daily, I've been going crazy. She claims she want my babies, but I'm locked in the studio trying to make like 40 hits, yeah. I'm laughing at his career, he must got it off Wish, yeah. They waiting on me
Off
to drop
Wish.
like it's GTA 6, yeah. It's in the process, I'm still with my tricks, yeah. Just like Walt White, me and Ghost cooking up this shit, yeah. Me and Twin locked in, no we cannot miss, yeah.
Damn, that shit was hard.
All right. All right. So this is like the content that I love from Levaries, right? This is the type of content that I think Levaries really excels at, right? Not only are they like pushing themselves sonically and with their music, right? But I also think that their content is like some of the most fun that we've seen here on the show. Levaries truly just has fun with their extra content, right? Like they don't really like have to go above and beyond or do some crazy shit to kind of you know, push their music a little bit further and kind of give you a little bit more of like a visual experience, right? Everything from lyric videos to the behind the scenes stuff to oh man, like so much stuff we've seen Levaries do over the last like couple of months, you know. I'd say like last like year or so. But regardless, you know, the remix is actually crazy. I'm almost like glad that this wasn't on the original album first, because like I feel like now there's almost so much more to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like Levaries definitely has a few more tricks up their sleeve for sure. That was fire blow. Yeah, no, I totally agree, Tig. I totally agree. And it's fun too, right? I think shit like this is definitely fun when it comes down to like just like quick, easy content. And this is definitely one of the routes to go, for sure. But all right. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, definitely vocals, and we're gonna talk about the lyric video, or really kind of the music video that we got here. Because there's definitely a couple things I want to say about this. But regardless, we've already reacted to Walt White, but not the remix. This will be the first time that we're reacting to the remix, so a couple new things to add here when it comes to my thoughts. So, Instrumental. Again, Ghost really killed the whole project. Like Recession Rap is half Ghost, and man, it's just absolutely crazy from like start to finish. And Laveri's again, I really praise their like going outside of the box kind of mentality here when it comes to this project, and a lot of the instrumentals on the project. So Walt White's definitely up there for one of the more like regular Laveri's instrumentals, but the project definitely varies for sure. But again, I like the choice. Mix is perfect, and throughout the whole album, it's fucking perfect. Literally on the instrumentals, like there's no gripes I could even think of. To be honest with you, sound selection's great. Um, Mix is absolutely fantastic. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Nothing that I would really ultimately change on any of the instrumentals, but on Walt White, definitely not. I think Ghost did a fantastic job on this for sure, as far as the mix goes. Um, let's talk Shining Star. So instrumental Shining Star here. I mean, the melody's crazy. The melody's definitely very like in your face and memorable and very like iconic, if you will, right? It's definitely one of those ones that you remember. But the drums are just crazy. And Ghost is so good at drums. It's just one of those things that like maybe I'm biased because I enjoy drums, but Ghost really does a good job with drums throughout the whole project, and this is definitely one of the highlights for sure. Even down in the sound selection of the drums, fantastic. But for me, Shining Star, absolutely drums. Melody, you can make an argument for melody, but kinda. But drums definitely clear for me, but I can see an argument for melody too. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals here. So vocal mix, definitely solid. I mean, realistically, right? When it comes to the vocal mix, I spoke a little bit about this on some of the other tracks from Recession Rap, and I think that the vocal mix is one of the one things that really like was very consistent throughout the project, but also like it has that like Laveri's uh like spice to it. It has that Laveri's flavor to it, and I think that's very important. You know what I mean? Because even though the instrumentals were kind of outside of the box and like Laveri's kind of like pushing themselves as an artist, I think the mix kind of being consistent was a really big W. You know what I mean? Like a really, really good thing. And this is one where we get the classic Laveri's like clean, clear, raw, but crispy kind of mix here. So nothing too crazy to gripe about whatsoever. Quality's great, levels are great. Nothing that I would ultimately change on the vocal mix at all. But You Know My Name is the remix new feature. So with their vocal mix, it's definitely a little bit more of a effects kind of driven style. And I think they do a really good job mixing with Laveri's, because Laveri's has these like raw, dry, in your face kind of vocals that are like very honest and um you know, it's just like a Laveri staple, I would say. So when you mix another artist that has a little bit more of like a um effects driven flavor, I would say that it mixes really well with Laveri's. You know what I mean? It really brings that dynamic that like I feel like a remix should have, because the original is solid. The original is definitely solid. So if you're gonna do a remix, I think bringing on a new artist like this that kind of like almost changes the dynamic of the song is always gonna be a W. You know what I mean? That's such a like smart move, but it reinvents the song and it kind of brings the song into a new light. That's why I really like this feature and kind of like separating it from the album as well, because you really get to look at the track in a new light. So I think that's what's solid. But vocal mix great for both of them for sure. Vocal Shining Star. I kind of want to say writing for both this time, because You Know My Name definitely killed it in terms of lyrics. But flow and cadence for both is really solid too. Tig mentioned that in chat, and I would definitely say that flow and cadence and delivery is like pretty up there for me. I'm kind of torn between those two, but I kind of want to say writing just because I do feel like last time I said flow and cadence and delivery. You know what I mean? But this one kind of reinvents it a little bit and brings it in like a new light. So I would say this time definitely writing for sure. 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk about the visual. So again, something as simple as this is always going to be a plus for any artist, no matter who you are. Laverius wasn't going for like an official music video kind of vibe here. This is just them kind of chilling in their kitchen, taking an opportunity to like film some content when you got some extra time, right? So I feel like things like this are always going to be super beneficial and super like intimate and very personal, right? It's like such a good way to like get to know an artist or get to really like see some behind the scenes kind of vibes. And Laverius is really, really good at that. You know, they've been doing that for quite some time. Like I said, like over the last year or so, a lot of their bonus content has just been really fun to watch. And like you can tell that Laverius like only does shit that they enjoy doing instead of like trying to like go outside the box and like film content and like be somebody that they're not. You know, like Laverius is very chill in all of their content. So I feel like that's something that's very noticeable when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I think even more beneficial than the visual here is the lyrics. The lyrics on screen is always a plus. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just a great way to stretch out your content. You know, I think putting lyrics on screen or having a lyric video following an album or following a release is always a good thing. You know what I mean? Always, always a good thing. So I would say the shining star for this one here is not only like the one take, like the one shot here of just like Laverius chilling in the kitchen, but the lyrics. The lyrics are definitely a shining star here. I feel like that made this infinitely worth it. You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna do these like one take kind of one shot videos, I would say adding lyrics like this is always awesome. Always, always, always awesome. So shining star for this, definitely the lyrics, but I would say the whole concept in general is always a plus. You know, so well done, and I'm definitely looking forward to more of this for sure. Especially remixes and shit, man. Let's go. But with that said, make sure you go subscribe to Laverius. They are 10 subs away from 530, so make sure you go show them some love on the tube. And a huge shout out to Laverius for the submission. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They are 10 followers away from 120, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 300 subscribers on the main channel. Make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you for showing Music Monday some love. We see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. Make sure you go show the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Shoes Fly too. Yeah, no, the fit was solid. It was a very like chill kind of visual. You know what I mean? A very chill, like laid back visual for sure. So that was our first Patreon of the night. And our last Patreon of the night, but definitely not least, Naomi Tilgrave TDG. So, TDG is back, my friends. He has been back in action on the Music Mondays podcast after a bit of a hiatus here on the show, but their last couple of tracks have been pretty solid, especially when in terms of mixing and things like that. So, TDG, a super talented hip-hop artist, submitted a track titled You Will Understand. And the caption is, "Too bad your new man, Mr. Never Can. See you never. Broad performed, mixed, and written by me. I done did it. This is the hardest song I made. Just watch G." The hardest song I've made. That's a crazy statement. So, TDG has been on a roll when it comes to their releases as of lately. They've really been like going above and beyond and really pushing their sound and really like improving their mix and just doing a lot of the small work that adds up. You know what I mean? Like they really have been going above and beyond. So this will be interesting because I would say the last track was one of the crazier TDG tracks. So, TDG said, "This is the hardest song I've made." I mean, the hardest song you made is pretty crazy because like we reacted to you know a decent amount of TDG, right? So that's a bold statement, bold statement. Again, produced by TDG, performed by TDG, mixed and written by TDG. You will understand. Let's go.
Whoa, wait, hold up. Whoa, like I'm back in this bitch. Yeah, whoa, like I'm back in this bitch. Business, I'm back in that shit. Jack, hit the road, be packing your shit. Oh, you don't understand? Wait, you got a better plan? You think you got a better man? I'll call him Mr. Never Can. One day you will understand. Alone with me, I learn more. The true source. Feeling the noise where darkness is born. Surviving isn't given a turn. Live your name, keep it sworn. Yeah, TDG, yeah. TDG better bang. TDG better bang. Turn that blinker off, stay in your lane. You can't surf my wave. This ain't a wave, it's a vibe. shot. Call me Steph Curry on the block. Cause I'll blow your snout. I'll drop you down. Yeah. I hope you get used to the fucking ground. Oh, you don't understand? Wait, you got a better plan? Wait, you got a better man? Call him Mr. Never Can. I can do it all. I'm a ball. Even when I'm not too tall. Break every wall. Smoking, token. I just feel like I got the door open. Cause I dropped away. Now I'm going insane. From the money in my veins. DNA type shit. Cause my family gonna be rich for life type shit.
Type shit. Beat is so hard. Very interesting melody too. Letting the beat right out was a good choice here. Okay. So a very interesting follow-up track to last week's track, right? Because last week we had the kind of breakup angle with TDG, and they were kind of going through it when it comes down to their personal life. So a good like pick me up, a little bit more high energy follow-up here. So very interesting, very interesting. All right, let's break it down. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of You Will Understand. So, instrumental. So, Prod TDG, I mean, they've been a demon when it comes to the production as of lately. Really a good, like, OG trap vibe mixed with a little bit more of like an experimental aspect with sounds. You know, TDG does really good kind of like making like experimental trap that's not like too erratic and too like nutty, you know what I mean? Like they seem to hit the nail on the head when it comes to like good organic trap, and this is definitely hitting that mark for me 100%. But mix is great, nothing clashing, too overbearing, nothing I would ultimately change when it comes to the instrumental. Drums are good, melodies are good, again sound selection's good, nothing that I'm thinking back on that I would ultimately change on this, you know. But as of lately, their production has been really top tier. You know, a lot of their beats are just really pushing like flawless areas as far as like you know, flavor and like all the trap check boxes that you'd want on an instrumental, you know what I mean? Like anything that you'd want in a trap beat, I feel like TDG can definitely get it done for sure. But yeah, nothing I would ultimately change on this. Again, mix is really solid. Definitely like hitting that nice middle ground, you know? Nothing that's out of pocket here. So no gripes with the instrumental mix at all. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably the drums. I mean, the melody is definitely up there in terms of like having that like old school kind of feel to it, but I feel like the drums just absolutely nailed it, especially the 808 and the kick are just crazy here. The sound selection in general on the drums is really solid, so we're gonna go drums for sure. So instrumental is solid for sure. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. You know, since TDG has returned to Music Mondays and the Music Mondays podcast, they've been mixing their own vocals, and you can tell that they've been kind of experimenting with it, you know, in terms of like what track they're working on, but also like what kind of style they want to have on each track, right? So I feel like they're going the route of kind of really experimenting with their vocals and like what they can and can't do and what they want to do and how they want to sound on certain tracks. I feel like all that stuff is being worked on as TDG goes along, right? So this one here, definitely no gripes at all. Nothing like super clashy, nothing like too overbearing at all. It definitely has that unique TDG flavor to it as well in terms of like vocal mix, 100%. So vocal mix definitely right where it needs to be. Levels are great, quality solid, and again, like I said, nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice, drums definitely cut through nicely for sure. No super gripes on this at all. Vocal shining star on the other hand, probably writing. I feel like this is the most like organic like writing for TDG in terms of like getting their emotions out and like really just like letting their creative juices flow. You know what I mean? Like even in the caption when they were spitting one of the bars from the track, too too bad your new man Mr. Never Can. Yeah, like I feel like they really like went above and beyond to like dig deep into their creative bag and their imagination and like their feelings to like get something like this done. So for me, writing for sure, definitely writing. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Fantastic. You know, I was looking at this cover and it has that like old school Tumblr kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? Like those like 2013 kind of edits. So I always like seeing this type of shit. Like, it always brings me back. You know what I mean? Like I always feel like this aesthetic will like never go out of style, especially when it comes to like the IRL edits and like using any like IRL photos. You guys know how I feel about these. Like these are always a good go to when it comes down to covers and things like that. You know, so a good single here is like really what this screams, and it's definitely like hitting the box for a single. You know what I mean? Minimalist, straight to the point, but it has that like VHS grainy kind of feel to it. So it brings that like Tumblr feel like way back into the picture. But aesthetics definitely on point. We got TDG in the chat. TDG, what's good, homie? Let's get it, baby. I freestyled everything besides chorus, one take. Yeah, see, okay, so overall theme. That's kind of like what I was gonna get at too. But overall theme here, I would say a good follow-up to the last track, right? As far as like mentality goes, as far as like where your head's at, and like really kind of like digging yourself out of that like emotional hole, but kind of like bringing a different set of emotions to the forefront, right? You're really bringing something new to the table, and like really getting that other side of like anger and grief out too, because like there's always like that sad part of you when you're going through something emotional, right? And then it, you know, sadness turns to anger and things like that. So this is one of those tracks that was good to get a lot of emotions out, but it definitely gave that like freestyle cipher kind of feel to it. Yeah, you could definitely tell that TDG was just letting the creative juices flow for sure. You could just tell. It's one of those songs that like if you're an artist, you're absolutely gonna know what I'm talking about. It's one of those ones where you're on like a hot streak, or you're kind of just really feeling it, or the pen is hot, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like whatever you want to call it. It's one of those tracks where you're just pumping so hard with your creative juices that you just end up finishing a track in literally like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like no writing, no nothing, like you're just going in. And this struck me as one of those because TDG was probably riding on a lot of emotions here. You know what I mean? Like the last couple of tracks have been very emotion filled, but this one being a little bit more on, I wouldn't say like a positive note, right? But it's definitely on the more like keep your head high, like don't really like you know, like dwell too much, but also kind of like it felt like one of those tracks that like you make when again like you're kind of going through it, but you have all these like emotions built up inside of you and you just like let the pen fly. This definitely felt like one of those tracks for me. You know what I mean? So I feel like TDG did a really good job keeping it like very consistent, but also like very honest. Like it was a very honest track again, but from a different perspective, right? It's not exactly like the sad, more emotional perspective. It's more on the emotions of like anger and like I would say what's the word? You're kind of more level-headed, I would say. You know what I mean? Like and it's really just about addressing emotions and really letting it kind of uh come out naturally. You know what I mean? Like one of those things that like every artist kind of experiences at least once, you know, because sometimes there's tracks where you're just like full blown creating, and then there's tracks where your mind and emotions just kind of take over and you're creating from that, you know. So digging from that raw place is always like just a crazy feeling, a crazy feeling. So well done, my friends. Well done. A great follow up track to last week's for sure. Huge shout out to TDG. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud. They are 2 followers away from 1K. Make sure you go follow TDG on Twitter as well. They are 4 followers away from 160. So make sure you go show them some love in the bird out, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is available on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking go. Let's get it. All right. So, I believe that's all of our Patreons for the night. So, huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patrons. You guys are fucking wonderful. Huge shout out to King Mark, Ryuki, Kruger, Dry My Eyes, Jordan, Laverius, TDG, and everybody else that's even following the Music Mondays Patreon, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you. If you'd like to subscribe to the Music Mondays Patreon, make sure you go check out the link in our bio. All right. Let's see here. So we're going to go through the rest of the community submissions now. So top to bottom, you guys know the drill. Let's get into it. So first up is the homie Offspring Mysterious. Now, Offspring has been really cranking through Walking Onslaughts and a lot of their newer YouTube content. But Offspring, a multi-talented creative, producer, designer, writer, engineer, editor, a multitude of things, has submitted a new edit titled Energetic Manifestation. Now time for some cover art adventures, is their caption. Interesting. Okay. All right, so we're heading in a new direction with Offspring. I'm down. I'm definitely down. At 720, full quality, full volume, banger, cool. Got some love in the comments. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, the gift of manifestation. So the description is definitely solid. Track used is Manifestation by Offspring Mysterious. Shocker. All right, let's get into it. Full screen, Offspring Mysterious, Energetic Manifestation. Let's go. Oh shit. I almost thought that was an onion. The fuck? No batteries. Offspring getting swifty with the fucking editing, man. What the fuck? Okay. I see the vision here. Okay. Yeah, see, that's fire. Now, for those of you that are Music Mondays frequent viewers, right? Maybe you've been viewing the show for the last couple of years or so. You're gonna know that Offspring started this segment somewhat centered around their cover arts, and how their shots are taken and kind of tying it into the rest of their lore. Well, this one definitely takes the cake. It's nice that they're revisiting this, especially after the Walking Onslaughts edits that they've done over the last, I don't know, like probably like 3 to 4 weeks. So running back the cover art detailed explanations is always a plus, right? I definitely think that's a W. This piece of content, short, sweet, to the point, but it kind of gives like a behind the scenes perspective of how a lot of their cover arts come to life. You know what I mean? And this one definitely, again, straight to the point, but also gets the job done. You know what I mean? Especially this pose right here. I mean, kind of like really, really breaking it down. And you're kind of like, and then like, you know, you see the final and you're like, oh shit, like, okay. You start to see the vision of where Offspring kind of curates a lot of their ideas. So, well done. I would say Shining Star here, probably the concept. I like that Offspring is going back to this piece and going to start doing these again. I think these are also not only great for their library, but in addition to everything else they're doing, it's a nice like a bite-sized version of Offspring and what they can really like bring to the table, and it kind of gives viewers and listeners a more of like an inside look, you know, kind of like we were speaking about with Laveries earlier in the show. Makes it a little bit more personal. So always a W. Shining Star, definitely the concept, and definitely the fact that they even thought about this, because I thought this is always a really good idea. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Offspring Mysterious. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to Offspring's channel on YouTube. They are 5 subs away from 230. So make sure you go show them some love on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They are 4 followers away from 830. So go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And like I said, if you already have, thank you for showing love to the Music Mondays channel. Well, let's get it. So up next would be Laveries, but we've already reacted to Laveries earlier in the show because they are a Music Mondays Patreon. So make sure you go check out Laveries and the rest of the show at the start. And huge shout out to Laveries. So, up next, we got the homie Onwuka. Now, Onwuka has been killing it as far as their submissions go recently. A very, very talented hip-hop artist submitted a track titled Drip Technique. Another Portals pick, Drip Technique. I was sitting there one day like, I stay drippy like Pollock. I don't think anyone has done that. And based around Jackson Pollock and the concept of drippy, etc. in the drip dimension. All trippy. Oh, damn. Okay. So we're heading back to Portals. Portals has been the common project over the last couple of submissions from Onwuka. So I'm definitely down. Let's get into it. Onwuka, Drip Technique. Let's go.
Well, Insomniac, it appears we've gone to a portal into the drip dimension. So let's drip. Aura is clean like Alex. I stay drippy like Polly. Drip technique they call it. Dripping endlessly on the powder. I stay drippy like Polly. Drip technique they call it. Dripping endlessly in the product. Insomniac time chamber, that's hyperbolic. Dripping on the product wet as a teardrop it. Watch it fall off, make like a way to weed ball trick. Drippy is casting of houses in a dark mallet. Cape on Mr. Lagerminds when I'm on the chair. Mindful of gross and sticky like a ball pit. Posted up with some sticky blah blah. Whatchamacallit. Drippy like the bouncy in the bathroom stall. Keeps running like it's on his day. Drippy like a polly. Aura is clean like Alex. I stay drippy like polly. Drip technique they call it. Dripping endlessly on the powder. I stay drippy like Polly. Drip technique they call it. Dripping endlessly in the product. Insomniac time chamber, that's hyperbolic. Dripping so wavy, word shifting like the waves. Got you dripping in a daisy, dripping like the sap on a tree. Growing right next to some daisies in a hidden forest with a canopy. When it's all windy and really rainy, hella drips like a water fountain in front of the Macy's. Tina's ears are dripping like a swimming suit staying. We dripping till we stinking, baby magic. It's my business crazy. Aura is clean like Alex. I stay
Holy
dripping
shit.
like Polly. drip technique they call it. Dripping endlessly on the powder. I stay dripping like pilot. Drip technique they call it. Dripping endless in the product. And some of the egg time cheaper than top of ballet.
Yeah, okay, what you got on? What you got on?
So I got the Air Maxes on, you know.
That's drip. That's drip. That's
That's drip.
coordination, boys. Get that shit.
So sick and twisted, when we kill it like Rim just popped a sickle. And you chillin', we drippin' like popsicle in the summer chillin'. Ain't kidding like your pops when your mom's drippin'. Now back to the drip technique and the drip dimension. So baby in SAC, you just need to listen. Symbiosis when the beat is hitting a strange alien, a black mixer when I'm drippin'. Aura is skinny like goblets. I stay drippy like Pollock. Drip technique they call it. Dripping endlessly on the powder. I stay drippy like Pollock. Drip technique they call it. Dripping endlessly in the product. And some
Yep.
next time cheaper that's how about it.
Hook was great on this, to be honest with you. The charge up at the end was a nice addition too. This was great. You know, short, sweet, to the point. You know, this is prime Onwuka. You know, this is what Onwuka is all about right here. And this is one where I feel like almost every aspect of their artistry really shines here, for sure. So, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of drip technique. So, instrumental, prod by the homie Insomniac. Fantastic. You know, Insomniac has one of the most unique production styles as far as like alternative hip hop goes. So not really a shocker that they kind of nailed this one. So I like the choice, definitely. Mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing I would ultimately change on this at all. You know, 9 times out of 10 Insomniac beats are going to be really well mixed anyway. So not really a shocker there, but something you always want to point out for anybody new. So instrumental mix, very solid, definitely. Instrumental shining star. You know, probably the melody. I feel like the melody has, you know, the flavor to it that just gets stuck in your head. You know what I mean? It definitely has that like replayability factor, but you could definitely make an argument for the drums too. Yeah, probably melody. Probably melody. And it fits that like Portals kind of flavor that a lot of these tracks have anyway. Has that futuristic, almost like video game OST kind of feel. So definitely melody for sure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, fantastic. I mean, Onwuka has one of the most consistent vocal mixes that we've ever had. And plus they have a really solid natural voice, so it's really not a type of voice that you really want to like super deep fry anyway. So their mix tends to be pretty consistent in terms of quality, crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point. A very like solid, well-rounded vocal mix, definitely. And again, very consistent, so not really a shocker. Something you always want to point out for anybody new here, if you know, you've never heard of Onwuka before. So definitely a solid vocal mix. Vocal shining star. I would say flow and cadence and delivery, to be honest with you. Flow and cadence and delivery is like one of the most entertaining that we've ever seen from Onwuka, and one of the most like skillful, I'd say. Like the flow and cadence and delivery is one of the ones that really shows off Onwuka's like true comfortability when recording and really coming up with concepts, you know. So flow and cadence and delivery definitely, but writing's a close second. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. So we spoke a little bit about the Portal cover last week, but again, it definitely has that album kind of feel to it, but also the quality is fantastic, and the consistency of the animated cartoon-esque characters that Onwuka and Insomniac have really entrenched themselves in is always super fucking solid. Like I really think they always do a good job when it comes to their art, but this one definitely hits the nail on the head when it comes to a project titled Portals. Definitely like has the good vision to it, but at the end of the day, it's like the uniqueness aspect mixed with the quality aspect is always a plus, you know. But at the end of the day, it screams album anyway, so definitely album worthy for sure. But always solid aesthetics from the Onwuka crew, definitely. Overall theme, so a relatively interesting theme, but I think Onwuka kind of broke it down for us here. Another Portals pick, Drip Technique. I was sitting there one day like, I stay drippy like Pollock. I don't think anyone's done that. Based around Jackson Pollock and the concept of dripping, drippy, etc. So, again, a very simple theme that Onwuka takes to town. Like, Onwuka knows how to break a theme down, but also kind of like take that theme and write about it even further, you know, and take their writing and lyricism a step further and kind of really like make it fun, but also, you know, really utilizing their imagination, but at the same time, like being very grounded and serious. Like Onwuka hits this fine line of like, they can talk about any subject, but also make it very serious. You know what I mean? And that's a very fine line, you know, like, there's been a few tracks as of lately that Onwuka has been like more lighthearted in, but they're still a very serious artist throughout the whole track. And I think this is another one of those where I feel like the theme is obvious, but if you're not appreciating the lyricism and like overall delivery and writing of this, it's just like, okay, like you're kind of like missing it, you know what I mean? Because Onwuka is really like one of those artists that can take any topic and really run it down and really explain it, you know. So this is another one where Onwuka really shows pretty much every solid aspect of themselves as an artist, right? From writing to lyricism to flows and cadence and delivery to concepts to really just executing it all and putting into one. You know, so this is one of those tracks where if nobody had heard of Onwuka, this is one of those ones where I'd be like, yo, check this out. You know what I mean? And you're going to get a good gist of Onwuka and who they are as an artist. So, well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Onwuka. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go follow Onwuka and Insomniac on Spotify. And, of course, make sure you follow Onwuka on Twitter. They are 5 followers away from 720. So make sure you go show them some love in the bird app, my friends. And, of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And, of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 300 subroonies. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. We see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. Let's get it. So, we left off with the homie Onwuka. Up next is the homie Sin, aka Survival in Negativity, a very talented hip hop artist. Submitted a track titled Chicken Thighs. Here's a collab for me and the homie Best from Hawaii. Been fans of each other for a few years. Finally got one done just last year. Best Chicken Thighs. What's good? Prod Joe. Okay. Those collabs from like your internet friends or people that are just like, you know, you just don't have a chance to meet or, you know, X, Y, or Z is always a good thing, man. Like finally getting that collab in that you just couldn't is just such a crazy feeling for sure. But interesting. Okay, so we got the homie Best. As a man thinkest. Dry My Eyes actually commented on it. Fi. Let me know if you want to collab. Oh shit. Interesting. This track is sick. Mark my words, you're gonna be famous. Lots of love in the comments. Okay, let's get it. Best Chicken Thighs with Sin. Let's go.
Alright. This is the tape. Mark my words, this is the one. I'm gonna start the beat. Alright? Here we go.
Gonna do it.
Here we go. I'm playing it.
Oh shit.
Okie dokie. We're gonna make music today. You know what I mean? Shit gonna get done, dude. No man, dude. Hell yeah. Alright. Yep. Time flies like barbecue chicken thighs. Stay alive, you just might win the prize. Stop trying to disguise what you're dealing with. The best trip is when you start feeling it. I'm just kicking back, bust a rhyme, steady whipping it. Really getting too old to be giving shits. Wanna live a life, think it's time, start getting it. We all gon' die, realize by the end of it. So, what's good with it? What's good with it? What's good, what's good, 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 what's good with it? What is fucking good, dude? You know what I'm saying, dude? Alright, yep, check. Mind wild and never trying to dip out. I'ma make them think I'm king, spitting fire out my mouth. Keep on hearing me out. I'ma give you what you came for. I'ma claim more. Need I say more? This that shit you paid for. AAA, stay ridiculous. Them bars stay hard the way a prison is. Been the shit in the dream, still innocent. Popping off cause I'm him while y'all witnessing.
Yo, time flies like fighter jets. My 10 speeds toward this desire which I ain't acquired yet. No longer waiting on the time where I'm inspired. Make the time to make the players what's required. We've been in dire need of applying these resources we've acquired. With the Siamese dream you sleep lighted. And need to awaken to these sticks and stones so we can show the people fire and remind them of a need to reach higher. Right.
What's good, what's good, what's good with it? 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 What is fucking good, dude? You know what I'm saying, dude? Alright. Yo, check.
What's good? What's really good? First time I can really say I can't complain. And try to never do it often when I really could. Cause the mirror art was no one else for me to take the blame. Taking aim at the life that I've always wanted. Always hunted from my youngest memories. Now I'm upon it and it's a humbling feeling. Along with the honor to honor my journey with song or a sonnet. Long as I'm worthy, yeah. Long as I'm buried in the parts of the past. To play a part of my departure from the path. Never forget to start. Pick the pen up and part to imbue substance. Depart the same way I came with a few adjustments. Nothing but for the better, I get to move forward, shedding the normalcy. Regret is the deadly competitor, but never let it wreck your metamorphoses. There's so much more to see, and even more to be. Along this journey, always more for you and more for me.
What's good, what's good, what's good with it? 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 What is fucking good, dude? You know what I'm saying, dude?
You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yep, check.
There are those who live by the creed, can't set ourselves. Meaning what? Whatever will be, will be. That is a fatalistic lie. No, whatever will be is up to me, up to the way I think.
Wow. So this is crazy because I don't think that they could have picked a better instrumental for both of them to kind of hop on. I mean, we're not too familiar with Best, right? But this is definitely a Sin type beat for sure. So I knew off the bat that Survival was going to come in and absolutely destroy this. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely fucking destroy this. So not really a shocker that they did, but what is shocking is how well they blended. I feel like this is a duo that I could see getting a lot of good collabs in. You know what I mean? Like a lot of good fucking collabs. So, wow. Okay. All right, let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of Chicken Thighs. Very interesting kind of theme here, but let's get into it. Let's talk instrumental. So I love the choice. You know what I mean? Off the rip, I love the choice. It has the old school boom bap kind of flavor, but still very much new sounds, and it just sounds a lot more fresh, you know, but it does have that vintage kind of flavor to it, which I think fits both of them clearly, you know. So I like the choice a lot, definitely. Instrumental mix, fantastic. I think everything's blending really well. Both of their vocals sit nice. Sound selection solid. Nothing I would change on the instrumental at all. Even the sample, like the vinyl background is great. Like everything about this is like mixed to a T. So instrumental mix is very solid. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably the melody. I feel like the drums are up there. Drums definitely do a good job keeping up rhythm and things like that. But the melody, man. Yeah, the melody. Definitely the melody. Very, like, instantly recognizable. You know what I mean? Like, one of those songs that would, like, come on your playlist and you'd, like, instantly play it just because you heard, like, 2 seconds of the melody. You know what I mean? So, definitely the melody, for sure. So, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Both of them sound fantastic. Both Best and Sin sound really, really good on this. Even their verse transitions are great. Nobody's like louder than the other. Quality's great. Nothing that I would like ultimately change on this when it comes to vocals. Sin, as we all know, has had a very consistent vocal mix since their very first submission. So not really a shocker that they sound really solid on this, but definitely a appropriate mix for this track, though. You know what I mean? I really feel like they both blend really well together. Crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point. Two artists that don't really need a crazy amount of effects either. You know what I mean? Just make sure everything's like nice and tight and well rounded, and you're good to go. So vocal mix, definitely solid. Definitely solid. Vocal shining star. I'm torn between two things here. I'm torn between writing, right, and flow and cadence and delivery. Writing from both of them is fucking crazy, but Sin's flow and cadence and delivery is even crazier. So it's like, holy shit. I kind of want to say writing, but that flow and cadence and delivery is just wow. This is one of those ones where like an artist comes in and absolutely kills the fucking feature. I feel like Sin like absolutely like totally wrote like the verse of their life on this fucking feature. It was just like, fuck this, bro. I'm going in. And they did. They really went in. So for me, definitely writing, but flow and cadence and delivery is a very, very close second for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. Fucking like, I don't think you could have picked a more perfect cover. I think the thing that makes this even more insane is the sign on the chicken. Chicken thighs, what's good? Best feature in Sin, Prod, Jodo. A chicken in space on the moon, or it looks like on a piece of wood, just vibing. Like, I don't think you could have went any more accurate. Like you really couldn't. Perfect for a single for sure, and definitely one for the books in terms of the library, 100%. But aesthetics definitely on point. I like this one a lot. Okay. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme, chicken thighs. I mean, I guess the one bar right off rip from Best kind of solidifies the chicken thighs kind of title here. But I do feel like they both got a little bit personal as well. I do feel like this is kind of like one of those open book kind of tracks where each artist kind of just let their feelings flow and their pen go crazy. You know what I mean? So definitely not one that I would dig like too deep on like an external theme for. But definitely one you want to appreciate for the lyrics and the writing ability from both of them for sure. Because this is our first time experiencing Best as well, so I feel like they both did a really good job showcasing themselves on this, and this is a great song to like show a first timer who's never heard you know what I mean? So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Best. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud. They're now 8 followers now that Music Mondays has followed them, away from 710. So make sure you go show them some love on SoundCloud. And of course, make sure you go follow Sin on Twitter. They are 6 followers away from 400, which is a W fucking milestone. So make sure you go show Sin some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. And again, huge shout out to anybody that already has shown some love and subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. Alrighty, my friends, let's fucking get it. Okay. So, we're about halfway through the show, so you guys know the drill. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to need all you guys to get up, go stretch your legs, go take a bathroom break, go take a smoke break. And when we return, we're going to dive right back into the rest of our community submissions. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. And Music Mondays episode 203 will be right back. Let's fucking get it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays Podcast, episode 203. I'm your host, Tom Slays, and we're going to continue on with our community submissions. Hope you all had a good break. Well, let's get back into it. So, we left off with the homie Sin, aka Survival Negativity. Up next is the homie Tig, aka Tig Bitty Goth Girl Young Tig, a very talented multi-genre artist, submitted a track titled Feeling Now, with the caption, got something unreleased unfinished, but would love you to listen. Don't go into this expecting the usual or anything close. Okay, so we're going a little outside the box with the homie Tig, man. I'm down. I'm definitely down. Okay. Let's get into it. All right. Tig Bitty Goth Girl, Feeling Now. Unofficial title, unreleased, exclusive Music Mondays premiere. Let's go. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Wow. Oh shit, quick little fade out. Okay, I like the fade out. Little work in progress fade out. Okay. So, let's see here. As Tig said in the description, in the caption, don't really expect the usual. And that definitely was not the usual. But fantastic nonetheless. That's definitely a style that I could have seen Tig kind of experimenting with, just because they're usual style that we've heard here on the show is very similar. This is just more of like a sped up kind of, deep fried with effects and really kind of pushing that bar of like almost like EDM esque, but like alt pop, kind of pushing that direction. And this is a very interesting style, right? Because not everybody can kind of do this and actually have it sound this good. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a very special track and a very special artist to kind of push to this level of like fast paced, electrified, in your face kind of tracks. Like, it's very hard to do so. Because, look, anybody could kind of hook up a track like this and try to make it in this style, but they're all not going to sound good. You know what I mean? And this one definitely hits that like appropriate area of like what these tracks should be sounding like. This is perfect. This is one where if you were to tell me this wasn't finished, or if you were to never tell me that, I probably would take it as a final. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely could pass as a final for sure. But let's talk about it, man. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Feeling Now. So, instrumental. Great choice. I mean, really, really great choice. I mean, these fast-paced kind of high energy, bouncy kind of like alt pop, dance, almost house-like instrumentals are always solid to me. Especially when they're in this form of like fast-paced versus almost rap like, but not really. Kind of like bending the genre a little bit. Um, so the instrumental choice is just great. The mix is solid too, though. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing that would ultimately change on this. You know, sometimes when you're approaching styles like this, it can be very interesting to get your mixes right. But as far as the instrumental goes, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Drums cut through nicely, vocals blend nice. Nothing like super clashy on this at all. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Hmm. You know, the melody's up there. I like the structure too. I think the structure's pretty underrated. Um, hmm. But the drums definitely keep up the pace a lot. Probably the melody. I feel like the melody has the most like energy and flavor to it. And again, it's very like recognizable, like one of those melodies that you just instantly get stuck in your head for sure. So probably the melody, but drums are a close second for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Obviously, the mix is a different approach, right? Because of this like all pop kind of like electric, fast pace, house ish kind of style. So for what the vocal mix is and like the style that Tig is going for here, really solid. You know what I mean? Like again, sometimes these can be a bitch to mix and like actually get right. You know what I mean? Because you know you're talking about bit crushers and you know sometimes a lot of compressors and trying to get certain levels right is very weird. You know what I mean? It can be very very weird. And when it comes down to this track and like where it sits at right now, really solid. You know what I mean? Really, really solid because it's hitting that nice point of like muddiness, but it's like still crispy and clean. So that's really like what you want out of your vocals with that. Again, it's a fine art. It's a process to get your vocals like perfect on certain tracks like this. But this one's solid, definitely solid. So um, vocal mix right on the money, definitely right where it needs to be for this kind of style and like this direction. Um, Vocal shining star. Hmm. So writing's up there, right? But I kind of want to go flow and cadence and delivery, just because how everything was delivered and just the flow of it all, the high energy, the fast paced vibes. Mm, yeah, probably the flow and cadence and delivery. To be honest with you, I feel like writing is a close second, just because it's like a good like party, like high energy again, like makes you want to get up and move kind of track, for sure. So that's definitely a close second, but flow and cadence and delivery for sure clears for me. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. So obviously unreleased, exclusive Music Money's premiere. So the track isn't out yet. So unofficial title, unofficial cover art, but a good placeholder cover art nonetheless. Because you guys know how I feel about those IRL covers that are, you know, at least like a little bit edited and a little bit kind of you know, worn down and spiced up a bit. I always think that they're great official covers or even just placeholders. You know what I mean? So I like that Tig kind of just threw up a little placeholder for now until they decide to, you know, to kind of put this track out or do something with it. You know what I mean? So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, you know, definitely not one that I would like try to dig too deep on. This is one that you enjoy for the energy of it and enjoy the party aspect of it and enjoy like the turn up aspect of it. Um, because I feel like everybody kind of needs like one of these in their library where it's just like a fuck it kind of song. You know what I mean? And you're just like really having a good time. And this strikes me as one of those, but it's also like a good like serious party song as well. So I feel like, you know, once this officially gets released, this will be one of those ones that um people instantly love or it grows on them too. You know what I mean? But this is definitely one where I feel like almost everybody needs one of these in their library where it's just like not really like a turn up track, but has that party, you know, like get up and go kind of energy, you know? So well done, my friend. Well done. I definitely like the style choice for sure. For sure. So with that said, huge shout out to Tig. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud and of course make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are 10 followers away from 40, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, Every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channels some love, baby. Let's get it. Shout out to Noise for editing the pic. Shout out Noise, man. This is my first real attempt at this sound, but I had a crazy amount of fun working on it so far. All love, bro. Yeah, no, of course. Thank you for your submission. I agree. Like, you did really good for just like trying it out for the first time. You know what I mean? Because it's a very difficult style to like, kind of get where you want it. Like, I find that it's like easier to like envision what it sounds like in your head, but like actually executing it is a little bit weirder. So for a first try, I think that's like really solid, like really, really solid. Like that's a good direction to go for like one-off tracks, or like you want to do like a remix of a song. You know what I mean? So well done. Definitely well done for sure. All right. So we left off with the homie Tig. Up next is the homie I Say in Sean. Now, this is Music Monday's most insane duo of 2024 for sure. These two have been killing it recently. And they submitted a track titled 16 Bottles, a multi-genre talented artist, I Say. And we got Sean back with him. So let's pop this open, see what we got. I'm down. All right. When did this come out? I would assume relatively new, right? Let's take a look here. Yeah, literally 3 days ago. All right, let's get into it. Sean, I Say 16 Bottles. Let's go. Crazy instrumental.
Bodies on bodies. Nicotine, nicotine, nicotine. Every day I smoke weed, but crack is cheap to me. Nicotine, nicotine, nicotine. Everybody sleeps. Overdose the day we do, yeah. 16 bottles, 16 bottles, 16 bottles, 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 16 bottles, 16 bottles.
16 bottles, no Doja Cat. Peanut on red, no Doja Cat. Paper got yams and slat. Fuck a bad bitch, cause she is a slut. Yeah. It's me and Icy. We in the studio, it's all 5B. Yeah. Get it high all day, get it high all night, get it high all day. Ain't no one getting paid for this rap shit. Ain't no one getting paid for this music shit. We get paid for a speaker on mine, that's the real shit. Yeah. It's me and Icy, yeah. In the studio, all night, yeah. We're bad bitch, yeah. Cricket on our ass. I can say the reality is cold kid, yeah.
Bottle 16, bottle 16, bottle 16, bottle 16, bottle 16, bottles, overdosing now.
Very interesting. You know, again, just as I say it, right? This duo is known for really attacking like any genre, any way that they want. And this is one of the more ambitious ones that we've heard in quite some time. You know, very ambitious, very, very experimental in terms of like blending like these very theatrical kind of instrumentals with a more like melodic sound, right? So really genre bending here. But I think it worked out for them. You know, it always does. Like even if you don't put out certain tracks, like they just push you in the right direction, you know, and them just kind of experimenting with what they experiment with it always pushes him in the right direction. So, we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of 16 Bottles. So, let's talk instrumental. So I like the choice from them. I like the choice from these two because they've always steered towards the more like obscure instrumentals that maybe certain artists really wouldn't vibe with. You know what I mean? Like they really, really push the limit when it comes down to like, um, what they're willing to do and what they're willing to actually use. So it's like fuck. Um, so I like the choice, 100%. Instrumental mix, great. The bass is good, the sound selection is good, vocals sit nice. I mean, definitely no gripe with the instrumental. A majority of their instrumentals are really well done anyway, so not really a shocker, but something you always want to point out there, 100%. So instrumental mix, definitely W, very well done. Instrumental shining star, definitely the drums. I like the melody a lot. I do like the melody a lot. I think that's very, very catchy as well. It definitely like sounds good on the ear, but for me the drums here are like almost like a second feature. You know what I mean? Like literally almost an artist on the track because the drums are like such a big player. So for me definitely drums, but melody's a close second. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, very solid. Like that's one thing you can guarantee about these two as well is no matter what type of instrumental or style that they're going for, you can always guarantee that their vocal mix is going to be up to par with whatever they're doing, whether it's more raw hip hop esque kind of style or maybe it's more melodic R&B esque. Kind of pushes like both ends. They've really done it all at this point. So the vocal mix here for even a more like obscure beat like this, super solid, super solid. Again, nothing clashing to overbearing, nothing that I would like ultimately change on this. Drums definitely cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Nothing that I can think of that I would like really, really change on this, to be honest with you. So, vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. I mean, the hook really warms up to you, especially like towards the end of the song. Like, you really start like feeling the hook a lot because like for some people maybe you might not like vibe with the hook instantly, but like it's one of those hooks that like by the end of the song you're like okay, like I fuck with this, you know what I mean? But I mean writing in general is up there too, to be honest. Then there's flow and cadence and delivery. Probably writing in general. Because, I mean, the hook's kind of included in that, and, like, writing across the whole track was, like, very fun and enjoyable from these two. Very, like, let loose kind of track, so definitely writing, but flow and cadence and delivery is a close second, for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. They've always had really, really solid covers. You know what I mean? Like, they always go very minimalistic and simple, but they always are very attractive and very, like, high quality. You know what I mean? And this one's really about like, rolling the dice, that whole metaphor of something like that, right? But still very original and very like DIY, They're very DIY oriented and that's what I've always loved about their covers. But colorful and very eye-catching definitely and perfect for a singles. So definitely hits all the boxes when it comes down to aesthetics. Overall theme, 16 Bottles. Once again, kind of more of like a party track. One of those tracks that you definitely want to turn up to, play at a party, put on your party playlist. Definitely sit back and have a drink too. One of those types of tracks, you know what I mean, for sure. Definitely more on the melodic, almost R&B side as well. They really did a nice blend of everything, and then the bass in the instrumental just keeps it very like in your face as well. So it adds a bit of like an attitude. So this is one where I definitely wouldn't dig too deep on the theme, but definitely one you could use as a perfect addition to your party playlist, 100%. And even one of those solo like night drive kind of traps, definitely 100%. So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to Sean and I say thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go follow Sean and I say on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow I say on Twitter. They're 2 followers away from 1K. That's a W milestone. Make sure you go show some love to I say, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode And every single episode will be linked in the description of YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazzes over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you for showing love to Music Mondays. I see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, even if you're just viewing the videos. Thank you. All right. Well, let's see here. Okay, so we left off with the homie I Say. Up next would be the homie TDG, but they are Music Mondays Patreon, so we already reacted to their track at the start of the show. Make sure you go show some love to TDG and check out the beginning of the Music Mondays podcast, episode 203. Up next, we have an artist by the name of Spendo. Now, it's been a while since we heard from Spendo, and Spendo is actually one of the first artists that has ever submitted to the Music Mondays podcast. I think they first submitted to the Music Mondays podcast in like 2021-ish, like very, very early 2021. But you know, it's been a while since you heard from Spendo. It's definitely been a while. So I'm excited to see what they've been up to, man. But a very talented artist. Spendo has submitted a track titled Name 100. Extended play link to all music platforms. Find out more. Let's fucking get it. A little cover here. Powered by the homie C-Dubs. Cover's fire. Okay. Let's get into it. Pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Like I said, it's been a while since we heard from the homie Spendo, so definitely down to see what they've been up to. Ranked that to 720 2 months ago. So not exactly recent, but not exactly old either. Very, very fresh in the Spendo library. So let's get into it. Spendo, Name 100.
California, West Coast. Names 100, feel the presence when we move. All around the world, we make it do what it do. Win, never lose, learn the game and you can prosper. Master post-grad, trying to get it like a doctor. And I'm a horse stopper, try and cross me like it's tic-tac. I be your doctor, sleep, I'm in the ski mask. I'm all black, Dickie suit fitted. And yeah, we out to get it, running laps around you cats who try to fake front, we in it. Impala windows tinted, blowing good like we Jamaicans. Cash rules everything around, so we taking. I sizzle like a steak on a flat iron skillet, but I'm trying to go vegan, been eating lots of millet. Only some of y'all gon' feel it, I ain't tripping on the rest. And still, palm trees and gangsters, and I always rep the West. I don't need to go and flex, I make it rain like a monsoon. We still young and get the money for this life, I've been a goon. When your name's 100, don't worry about nothing, just stay getting money. Always hungry, man, we munchin'. Talk Bottle City brunch, I want that roar in the garage. Accounts in the Swiss, real estate, some trips afar. When your name's 100, 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 when your name's 100. Hit the switch and ball out. Chrome cream sickle. I come from an era when the cops come, you whistle. Couldn't clean me with a bristle. I'm out to get filthy. You know I spend rich, name 100 suckers kill me. My room was gonna fill me, known to get it off the block. I listened to some doctors and I started watching stocks. Let's spin a couple blocks and I'ma show you where it started at. No matter where I'm at, it's still the West. That's where my heart is at. I'ma run the bag and get the money like the old days. Roll up something heavy, plotting, planning in the hallway. Forever in a day, I'ma chase it being hungry. And yeah, I touch hundreds, small face, old money. The game got funny, so I sat back and watched it. This ain't a track meet, but from my wrist where I clocked it. Fake fame, the mothers bought it, give me cash and I leave. I keep it coastal all the way and got a trick up my sleeve. When your name's 100, don't worry about nothing, just stay getting money. Always hungry, man, we munchin'. Talk Bottle City brunch, I want that roar in the garage. Accounts in the Swiss, real estate, some trips afar. When your name's 100, 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 when your name's 100.
Wow. Well, fucking no. That was crazy, actually. You know, Spendo is always been super, super talented when it comes to like real raw, like organic hip hop, right? And almost has like this pure West Coast sound, but it's still very original as well. Wow. Okay. So this is great. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. Let's see here. So we're gonna talk about 3 things. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of this rack. Instrumental. I love the choice. Spendo has a really, really solid instrumental choice. Always has, to be honest with you, but they know exactly what fits them, you know. So I like the choice, definitely. Um, Instrumental mix is fantastic. Very clear, clean, crisp. All the drums sound excellent. The sound selection's great. Melody's perfect. Nothing's too like clashy or loud. Quality's fantastic. Vocals sit nice. I mean, the production's just fantastic. No gripes with the at all. Whatsoever. No way. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. I like the drums a lot. For sure. I like the drums a lot, right? But the melody and that piano is very catchy and like definitely very identifiable. And it has this like mean, almost ominous kind of sound to it. It makes you take the track a little bit more serious. So for me, definitely the melody, but drums are a close second. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, fantastic. Spendo has always had a very consistent vocal mix. They have a solid, like, real, raw, natural voice. So they don't need a ton of effects and engineering when it comes down to their mix. They just need it crisp, clean, straight to the point. Maybe a little reverb, compression here or there. But nothing too crazy, but still makes out for a very solid, well-rounded mix, 100%. So vocal mix right where it needs to be, very solid. No gripes there. Vocal Shining Star. I feel like it's the writing in general. The hook definitely does it for me. I like the hook a lot, but the writing in general across the whole track is really fucking solid. Spendo is a very relatable artist when it comes to like being like literal and very honest, but also like very like 10 toes, you know, like they're a very like say it with their chest kind of artist. You know what I mean? So for me, writing definitely 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. What a cover, man. What a fucking cover. Um, it reminds me of like somewhat of those like early like 2010s covers, but it has this like new age kind of spin on it, and like the color palette's great, right? Like the whites, the reds. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Text at the top, text at the bottom right, text at the bottom left. You have Spendo in the middle. It's like eye catching, but it's not doing too much. You know what I mean? So aesthetics very much on point. Overall theme, name 100. So I mean, a very self-explanatory kind of theme, but that's what makes Spendo kind of a very like relatable artist, is because you know a lot of their themes are very like day-to-day honest kind of feelings, right? Like they're not talking about anything that's like unrelatable or like they haven't really like been through necessarily. You know what I mean? So name 100, I mean like having like a good name is always going to take you through life, right? I mean, as long as your nose is clean, you don't have any like crazy skeletons in your closet, you never fucked nobody over, you know what I mean? You're not a scumbag. Shit like that is always a good thing in life. And you know, having a good name is something that Spendo obviously takes pride in, right? So they speak about that in a way that it's like relatable to everybody. It's like good to have like a good name, but it's also Spendo's experience with it as well. So I feel like they got raw and real here, but always like they always hit the nail on the head when it comes to their themes, but also like Spendo's always taking time, kind of really like expanding upon them from their perspective. So it's very interesting, but just goes back to Spendo's writing, you know what I mean? So well done, my friends. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Spendo. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure to go follow Spendo on YouTube. There are 8 subs. Well, now there are 7 subs. Away from 200 on YouTube. Make sure you go show them some love like Music Mondays did. And of course, make sure you go follow Spendo on Twitter. They are 7 followers away from 830. Make sure you go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 Subaroonies. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. All right. Let's see here. That was a great submission by the homie Spendo, by the way. Always good to hear from Spendo. So, up next we have the homie Noise. Man, we've reacted to Noise a couple times here on the show, but it's been a while since we've reacted to them in the winter. I don't think we've heard from Noise on the show since like the summer, but they do frequent SoundCloud Sunday very often as well. So Noise, a very talented alternative artist, submitted a track titled Degenerating official music video. My music video, question mark. Absolutely. So this will be solid because I think we've only reacted to audio from Noise. I definitely don't think we've ever reacted to any visuals. Definitely not here on the show. So I'm excited. I'm down. Let's see. Editing fire, camera work, song. Let's get it. Lots of love in the comments. Okay. All right. So Noise Degenerating official music video. Full screen 720. Get the sound up. All right. Let's get into it. Noise Degenerating official music. Let's go.
Oh yeah, bitch better hear my lines. She wanna kiss, oh yeah. My gun customized, got bands and bliss, oh yeah. Oh, everyone think they fire, everyone say, oh yeah. Say I love that fire, turn to a bitch, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, sure ain't scared to die, that's my shit, oh yeah. Yeah, degenerate game for life, that's my click, oh yeah. Swear to God, I earn my stripes, y'all ain't like this, oh yeah. Y'all ain't like this, oh yeah. Pull up on the Lego, brick up on the stick, oh yeah. Jedi pull up, she got blood out on her kiss, oh yeah. Pussy bitty put up in his Audi, made it twist, oh yeah. Coke, dust and Molly in my fist, oh yeah. My brother pull up on a Harley, that's my shit, oh yeah. Yeah, I'm cracking Bacardi till I'm sick, oh yeah. Said hella scars on my body, check my wrist, oh yeah. Brand new car, ain't no mileage on my whip, oh yeah. To your girl, cause I'm styling in my fist, oh yeah. Break into your home, I come to fist, oh yeah. I kick a motherfucker leg, now he needs stints, oh yeah. I could never fall, break a bin, oh yeah. My final goal is to take care of my kin, oh yeah. I blow a hole through a motherfucker chest, oh yeah. Blow a hole, take a breath, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bitch better hear my lines, she wanna kiss, oh yeah. My gun customized, got bands and bliss, oh yeah. Oh, everyone think they fire, everyone say, oh yeah. Second I up that fire, turn to a bitch, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, sure ain't scared to die, that's my shit, oh yeah. Yeah, degenerate game for life, that's my click, oh yeah. Swear to God, I earn my stripes, y'all ain't like this, oh yeah. Oh yeah. She wanna kiss, oh yeah. Got bands and bliss, oh yeah. Everyone think they fire, everyone say, oh yeah. Second I up that fire, turn to a bitch, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's my shit, oh yeah. Yeah, degenerate game, that's my click, 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 oh yeah.
What the fuck? No way. Type shit. Okay. A lot to take in there and a lot to go over. That was fantastic. Prod mentions, by the way. Holy shit. Yeah, I agree. Editing fire. I agree with the homie Tig there. So this was quite possibly one of the best videos we've seen all year. We've seen a lot of good videos this year, but this is definitely like top 3, top 5 maybe. Something like that. Like this definitely clears. This was impressive. Very, very impressive. And a couple important things I want to say about this because this is why you need to take a camera everywhere you go. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about that. So we're going to talk about 3 things. We're going to talk about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals. And we're going to talk about the official music video. Let's get into it. Instrumental. I believe Prod mentions, that says in the description. Yeah, Prod mentions. So, I like the choice a lot. Noise and the Degenerate crew really has a knack for like good like alt trap, like alt plug and B kind of like horror plug, horror trap kind of instrumentals, but not like too crazy. I think it fits their sound like just right. You know what I mean? So I like this choice a lot. Um, Instrumental mix, very solid. This is like the definition of like the perfect amount of mud, like for sure. Like it's just got that like nice muddiness to the instrumental, but it's still hitting all the right notes, not like too overbearing. It kind of hits that nice sweet spot. So, um, instrumental mix extremely solid. Nothing clashing too overbearing. I like the way the vocals sit a lot. Drums are very solid, like I said with the mud. Definitely no gripes here at all. Definitely not. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Definitely the melody. The melody is very ominous, very like final boss kind of feel to it, but it's very dark too. Drums are excellent as well, but uh, fuck, I gotta go with the melody. The melody is very evil. You know, it has this evil, ominous kind of feel to it. So I'm big on the melody here for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. I've always liked Noise's mix. You know, no matter what instrumental they're on, they always tend to have like a really solid mix when it comes to their delivery, their vocals, and their verses in general. Right? They're just always mixed to a T. And again, it has that like rawness to it, but it's still very like crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point, but not too like raw. You know, it hits that nice middle ground for like what their natural voice is. So I'm a big fan of their mix. Always really have been, you know. But on this track, excellent. Very excellent. Nothing clashing to overbearing, like I said. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals definitely sit nice. So vocal mix right where it needs to be for sure, especially for this type of sound. Vocal shining star. You know, the whole track is really a banger, to be honest with you. Like it's gonna be hard to pick this one. Writing is definitely up there. Flow and cadence is definitely up there. I like the hook a lot too, though. Let's go writing. I feel like writing's like very unique and very like very noise and like degenerate gang specific. So let's go with writing. Definitely writing, 100%. Um, but flow and cadence and delivery is very close second. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk about the video. So we've never reacted to a Noise music video before. And this is one where, you know, right off the bat, I love the resolution size. I love how it's not filmed with in like 16:9. I think that's also very unique. I like when artists do that. It always gives a good like home VHS video kind of feel. But the one thing I noticed with Noise is like they're very comfortable in front of the camera, right? And that's one thing I take notice of when I first watch visuals from artists that we've never reacted to before, right? Because some people are like very stiff on camera, or you know, they don't really know how to work the camera. Sometimes it's very interesting, right? And it takes a while for certain people to warm up to the camera, which is fine. But Noise definitely is very comfortable on camera, right? Very comfortable, very like just very into it, and like it's very believable. You know what I mean? And you want to have footage that's like not stiff. It's not weird looking. It's got to be on point. And Noise definitely hits that like comfortability factor for me, and really makes the video look loose and like very intimate. You know what I mean? And has this like personal look to it. So that's a big plus here. That's a big plus. So that's one thing I noticed off rip. But I think the more important thing that I wanted to mention here is this was probably filmed over like a weekend, right? A course of like a Friday and a Saturday. You know what I mean? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe. And like, look at how much footage they were able to use for this video. And like, not even all of it is like directly filming for a music video. Like some of it's show footage, some of it's like B-sides, B-roll, some of it's just like chilling, some of it's like the after party. You know what I mean? So this is why you want to be filming event weekends. I'm not saying like go take a camera and film your life 24/7, but if you're going to a show, or you're performing, or your boy's performing, or you're going out to the club, you're going out to the restaurant, you're gonna go film something somewhere, take your motherfucking camera, bro, and film the B-sides, film the B-roll. You know what I mean? And this is why, because a good chunk of this is Noise performing, which is great. I think that's what you want. But the B-sides and the B-roll here, is super solid. Like all the extra footage, right? Like, you know, like the car footage, that footage, the gun footage, like some of this stuff is like really good B-roll. You know what I mean? Where they're just chilling, smoke break, whatever. You know what I mean? So I think shit like that is really, really solid. So that's one important thing I wanted to note was like, you don't even really have to directly film for a music video sometimes. Like your videos can end up like this and they're still very fucking solid. You know what I mean? So, well done. Very, very well done. I would say shining star here. I do like the footage and the locations, right? But I think I'm going to go with the editing. I think the editing and the final product is really what made this like very, very like top tier and really, really up to par. So for me, editing definitely, but I feel like the whole concept and the footage in general is like a really close second. Like this whole video is very like DIY and like really what the underground is all about. You know what I mean? It's not trying to do too much. It's not trying to be something it's not. It's very natural. It's something like anybody could get behind, and they, you know, if you want to get behind it, it's like right there. You know what I mean? It's like within reach, you know? So this one cleared for me. Well done. Definitely well done, my friends. With that said, huge shout out to Noise. Thank you so much for the submission. Make sure you go follow their channel. They are now 7 subs now that Music Mondays has subscribed to them, away from 50. So go get them to 50 subscribers on YouTube, man. And of course, make sure you go follow Noise on Twitter. They are 2 followers away from 50, so go show them some love over there on Twitter. 50 on each, man. Let's fucking go. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And of course, if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you for showing love to Music Mondays, my friends. I see you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz. Much, much love. Let's get it. Insane submission there. What a W. Well done. All right. Let's see here. Up next would be a first-time submitting artist by the name of Bria Style, but they actually submitted a Apple Music link, which we cannot play here on stream. So literally anything else works. SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, literally any other streaming platform that doesn't require you have a subscription works. But be sure to resubmit Bria Style with something that we can actually play on stream, and we'll be happy to react to it here on the show. All right. So up next is the homie Saint Wave, a multi-genre artist, submitted a track titled Mirages. Possible next single off the album. So the last track we reacted to was very, very solid. Like one of those like genre bending tracks, you know, and Saint Wave is really, really one of those very skilled artists that can just clear a couple different genres and really blend them all together. So let's pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got. Okay. Wavelength, Mirages. Let's see here. 2024, November 13th. Okay, Mirages is track 4. All right, let's get into it. Saint Wave, Mirages. Let's go.
Some bridges on these bumpy roads. I burn it up, I ain't burn it all. Have a lot but can't have it all. If I could, I build it back up. That anxiety, hold the tight grip. Shit, it make me toxic. Too sick to my stomach. Fix it with some ramen and some chopsticks. I treat this music like my main bitch, and treat my 9 to 5 like my side bitch. And this passion is my main course, but this money like my side bitch. Famished like it's Ramadan. Aki's gonna be glad I'm on. Know $1 at the corner store in all the malls. Been bougie my whole life, I ain't changing now. No, looking like a million, think I'm seeing things. Stepped out of the matrix, started seeing green. Everything is white like like it's Christmas Eve. Doing some shit I seen on TV. Everywhere I go, I see mirage, mirage, mirage. Everything is changing up around me, around me, around me.
Everywhere I go, I see mirage. I'm losing my mind, I need a dime. If it's about that money, then I'm on it. 20s, 50s, 100s, I want all it. My new bitch a 10, that bitch got it. And she said she got a friend, we could menage with. Bro, that good dope, blow out, kush, smoke, high as goddess. LA palm trees make me feel like I'm in the tropics. T-O-N-E, but she keep calling me G-O-D. Why that boy turn O-P-P, I could get him gone, he wouldn't know it's me like, technical. My new bitch calling me fashionable. Break my heart, you a cold bitch, but she don't know I'm a savage too, like gang, gang.
Looking like a million, think I'm seeing things. Stepped out of the matrix.
Holy shit.
Everything is white like it's Christmas Eve. Doing some shit I seen on TV. Everywhere I go, I see mirage, mirage, mirage. Everything is changing up around me, around me, around me.
Well done. Holy shit. So, like I said, multi-genre talented artist Saint Wave is, and this one's more in the direction of like real raw, natural, like organic, somewhat old school hip hop, right? But with a very fresh take on it. I think Saint Wave did a fantastic job with this. So let's talk about it, man. Okay. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Mirages. So, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental choice is great. Has that laid back kind of chill vibe to it, right? So I like the choice, especially for like what Saint Wave really did with it. So choice is solid. Mix is great. Nothing clashing too overbearing at all. Nothing that I would ultimately switch on the instrumental. Sound selection is great. Vocals sit nice. Drums cut through nicely. Yeah, really nothing I would change on this, to be completely real with you. The mix is super, super solid, especially the melodies and like how the drums interact with them. Everything's just really on point. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Probably the melody. The melody brings that like old school flavor to it that I think Saint Wave really wanted, but the drums are more modern and have a more like modern approach, you know. So it's really a blend of two eras that like gives it that classical new age feel, you know. So for me, definitely the melody, 100%. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. The vocal mix again, fantastic. Saint Wave has had a very solid vocal mix for quite a while. You know, any track that I really think of from Saint Wave that we've reacted to here on the show has had a really solid vocal mix. You know, nothing clashing too overbearing. The proper amount of effects, nothing too loud or too low. Depending on the genre and sound and what they're really going for, they always hit the mark when it comes to their vocal mix. So definitely no gripes on this one at all, for sure. Vocal shining star, probably flow and cadence and delivery, to be honest with you. I feel like writing is a close second, but the flow and cadence and delivery is like, you could tell Saint Wave like smoked this and was really writing when they wrote this one. So flow and cadence for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. I spoke a little bit last week about the Wavelength official art, and this one's definitely like hitting that minimalist, eye-catching kind of vibe. You know, it really does its job, and it totally screams album to me. And like I said last week, it kind of has that Wavelength kind of feel to it, you know, especially with Saint Wave kind of being surrounded by this like white entity. You know what I mean? It's doing its job for a project called Wavelength, but also it's very eye-catching at the same time. So very much album worthy for sure. Overall theme for Mirages. You know, you could look kind of deep into it for the Mirages kind of lore that Saint Wave starts off with and like is in the hook as well. But one of those ones where I feel like this one you definitely got to appreciate Saint Wave's writing and lyrical ability here. I wouldn't look too deep on the theme unless you really wanted to, but this is one where you really got to appreciate Saint Wave for their writing and their lyricism on this one for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. With that said, huge shout out to Saint Wave. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Saint Wave on Twitter. They are approaching 940 followers. They're about 8 away, so go show them some love. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show the channel, and these are some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's fucking go. All right. Let's get into it, chat. All right, so we left off with the homie Saint Wave. Up next is the homie Mike Body, Year in Review. So it's been a while since we heard from Mike Body. I don't think we've reacted to Mike Body in quite some time here on the show, if ever, actually. So we might be going in a little bit blind here, to be honest with you, but I'm very interested now. It's man, been a while, I think, for sure. So let's get into it. Mike Body, Year in Review. Let's pop it open a new tab. Let's see what we got. Gonna definitely go in a little bit blind here because, like I said, it's been a very long time. And this dropped actually December 4th, so literally 5 days ago. Mike Body, Year in Review. Let's go.
In review.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's my year in review. It's my year in review. The word of God, the only thing that helped me through. This my year in review. This my year in review. This my year in review. The word of God, the only thing that helped me through. Church splits, serpents in the pulpit. Can't trust it. The public, my enemies. The gospel needs more Chuck D's, more Barclays, more Wooleries. That's the OG of the love connection. They hate my guts.
Okay.
No lies detected. When they not like us, you get a bad reception. Like John Elway to Club Shay Shay. It's no mistakes on my IG page. In my man cave, gotta block out rage. And when I'm in the hood, gotta carry sharp blades. I'm from a tough place, no lawsuit from Drake. I bear fruit today, but because of God's grace. Didn't buckle underweight, still desire bigger pay. Take an L from Jake, got millions on the way. Learning from Paul to be content in every state. Trump won the race, America ain't great.
Oh shit.
Christian homes of faith, black men to blame for Harris campaign. This my year in review.
Let's go, man.
In review. This my year in review. The word of God, the only thing that brought me through.
Well done.
One last kiss, didn't let go. My lady hips, I'm sowing seed like a farmer did. I'm on the plow with a farmer's grip. Infatuation, turn to weaknesses. They bunny hopping like Easter kids. The Holy Spirit ain't penetrating. No Diddy cases, I celebrate them. Gotta cast down these imaginations that go against his administration. Except for mine, busting out Lathan. Work in progress, please have patience. All jokes aside, sad situations. To my loved ones that didn't make it, I go hard to my expiration. My home in heaven is my destination.
Fire.
This my year in review. This my year in review. This my year in review. The word of God, the only thing that brought me through.
Well done. We're fucking well. I like the structure of this one a lot, and I like the writing. This is a really solid submission. I won't lie to you. Like, this is a really great end of the year track. Funny enough, we spoke a lot about the end of the year today on the show, so this is a convenient submission. But Well done, my friend. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of year in review. So, let's talk instrumental. I like the choice. A solid, like, very like staple hip hop style instrumental, right? Nothing too crazy here, but very like high quality nonetheless. So I like the choice. Instrumental mix very solid. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing I would ultimately change on this. Melody goes well with the drums. Like I said, sound selection solid. Mic sounds really good on the track. Drums cut through nicely. Like I said, vocals sit nice. Nothing I would ultimately change on this at all. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I kind of want to say melody, but the drums are a very underrated part of this. So let's go drums. I feel like drums really clear here, especially the kick. So definitely drums with the shining star. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix very solid, crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point. I feel like Mike has a really solid natural voice, so you don't really want to drown it out with too much effects. But again, very high quality. Levels are good. Nothing too clashy. Nothing too overbearing. Like I said, vocals sit nice. Definitely has that like nice loud theatrical kind of feel to it, but not really drowned out by effects yet either. So definitely has that like really crisp hip hop style vocal that you want. So a vocal mix solid, a vocal shining star. Definitely the writing fucking cleared here. I feel like Mike wrote his ass off for this and did a really good job. Flow and cadence and delivery is a close second, but the writing definitely clears 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. A stock theme, aesthetics, fantastic, simple, straight to the point. Color palette's awesome. Got this black and gray, tan-ish kind of style. Mic body up top, year in review below, and then the mic down below that with the city. Caution 2024 at the bottom right. I mean, perfect for a single like this. Really perfect for a single like this. It does have that end of the year kind of feel to it as well, like almost like you're reading like the end of the year article or something like that, you know. So aesthetics definitely on point for sure. Overall theme. Quite literally in the title, I guess. Year in review. Mike does a good job kind of talking about the year that they had in 2024, the year that the world had in 2024, and does a really good job with it. I think they balanced it out enough with world events, but also their own personal events, and really had the ability to speak their mind here. And I think sometimes you just need tracks like this in your library, and sometimes you just got to write it out. And I think Mike did a really good job with this one, man. Really good job. So. Well done, my friend. Well done. Make sure you go follow Mike Body on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow Mike Body on Twitter. They are 10 followers away from 540. So go show them some love on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 300 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. See you guys dropping likes, dropping comments, all that good jazz on Music Mondays, and we appreciate you. Much love. So, that does it for all of our submissions tonight for episode 203 of the Music Mondays podcast. Let's close it out. Let's get some shout outs. Let's show some love. Let's talk about next week and all that good jazz. Let's get into it, my friends. So, with that said, huge shout out to the chat tonight, man. The chat was fucking bumping, chilling. We had the homie Tig in here vibing. We had TDG coming through. And huge shout out to anybody else that lurked and chilled and just kind of came through and want to come hang. Thank you. Let's fucking get it. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted to the Music Mondays podcast episode 202. Thank you guys so much. Huge shout out to all of our Patreons. Huge shout out to Laveries. Huge shout out to Jordan. Huge shout out to TDG, Kruger, King Mark, Ruki, and Dry Eyes. You guys are fucking awesome. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight. Offspring Mysterious, Laveries, Onwuka, Sin, Tig, Isay, TDG, Spendo, Noise, Freestyle, Saint Wave, and Mike Body. Thank you guys for your submissions tonight. You guys are fucking wonderful. Much love. Huge shout out to quite literally everybody that tuned in, showing love. And like I said, man, you guys are fucking awesome. Thank you. We appreciate you here in Music Mondays, my friends. So with that said, let's see here. So if you'd like to submit for next week's episode of the Music Mondays podcast, submissions will be live tomorrow, December 10th, 2024. So make sure you follow us on socials: Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Facebook, Tumblr, YouTube, quite literally everywhere. Submissions will be live tomorrow for episode 204. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled and find out when submissions are live. So make sure you follow us on your favorite social media. And of course, Music Mondays episode 203. This episode will be live on Patreon tonight. It'll be live on audio platforms this Thursday. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. And it'll be live on YouTube on Saturday. So make sure you go subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel as well. We're about 5 subs away from 300 per usual. And of course, let's see here. Patreon update coming this week. Music Mondays Awards starting to roll out next week. Some more merch promo coming out this week as well. So kind of a big week to wrap up the end of the year and tie up some loose ends, man. So I'll be keeping you guys updated on pretty much everything as the show goes along. But you guys know the drill, man. Make sure you follow Music Mondays at all platforms. On all platforms, I mean at all Music Mondays. Like I said, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, we're everywhere. Make sure you go follow us on your preferred social media. And of course, make sure you follow, subscribe below on the channel. I'm quite literally live 5-6 days a week. Watch parties, speedrunning, games, streams, laughing, podcasts. You guys know the drill. But I'll be live tomorrow per usual, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All the socials, all the good jazz is linked down below. And again, make sure you follow me at Zom Slays and follow Music Mondays at All Music Mondays. Let's fucking get it, baby. This is episode 203 of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Zom Slays. We'll see you next Monday for episode 204 of the Music Mondays podcast, and I'll be live tomorrow for a regular stream. Be safe. I love you guys. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.